27-year-old Dylan Dukes was arrested this month on allegations of stalking an 11-year-old girl.
Stalking an 11-year-old girl is crazy. Like, you deserve to die. This is who they need to be given a death penalty to. Like, what in your mind, like, makes you think, like, I'm gonna go stalk an 11-year-old child at my big grown age? Like, please comment down below and let me know, because some people brains really wired like that. Like, what is the chemical imbalance that's in someone's brain to, like, weird.
According to police, Dukes wrote the young girl over 6 love letters. And it wasn't just the more than 60 love letters sent to the child. Dukes allegedly showered the young girl with presents, giving her cards, gift cards, ornaments, pictures, and...
Oh, you thought you had a grown woman. You a real nasty muff. Oh, no. Bury this mother... These are the people that need the death penalty. Stop playing with me. I would have capped this muff. Yo.
Unwanted hugs.
Hey man, say man, back with another reaction video. Before I get started, please make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe, hit that notification bell so you never miss a post. And let's get right into this video. Yeah, we on the long crime today. This title is crazy. Teacher of the Year stalked, wrote 60 love letters to 11-year-old student. We on some weirdos.
A South Carolina elementary school teacher who was once dubbed Teacher of the Year lands himself behind bars after an alleged obsession.
You gotta watch out for them Teacher of the Years. They be the ones. Because how you get Teacher of the Year? What you was doing? You wasn't teaching about nothing. Because you was going off of, you know what?
With a young student.
It's disgusting. It's horrific. It is a huge violation of the trust that kids and parents in our communities put in our teachers.
27-year-old Dylan Dukes was arrested this month on allegations of stalking an 11-year-old girl.
Stalking an 11-year-old girl is crazy. Like, you deserve to die. This is who they need to be given a death penalty to. Like, what in your mind, like, makes you think, like, I'm gonna go stalk an 11-year-old child at my big grown age? Like, please comment down below and let me know, because some people brains really wired like that. Like, what is the chemical imbalance that's in someone's brain to, like, weird.
According to police, Dukes wrote the young girl over 6 love letters. And it wasn't just the more than 60 love letters sent to the child. Dukes allegedly showered the young girl with presents, giving her cards, gift cards, ornaments, pictures, and...
Oh, you thought you had a grown woman. You a real nasty muff. Oh, no. Bury this mother... These are the people that need the death penalty. Stop playing with me. I would have capped this muff. Yo.
Unwanted hugs, which made the young student feel uncomfortable.
Well, it's an obsession. And the obsession is obviously this child, this 11-year-old child that was a student in his music class. And, so often with obsession, you see that the obsession grows, particularly when access is lost. So it's very concerning what could have happened with this child, because you see the lengths that he went to, to gain access to her and her family over the years. And it is absolutely disturbing. It really is.
The investigation reportedly unfolded on July 8th when detectives were told about the massive amount of letters written to the 11-year-old. Authorities say before the summer break from school, Dukes gave the young girl a personalized box with a letter for each day of the week during the entire summer vacation. But the alleged obsession didn't stop.
What was the letter saying? Like, what was you writing to an 11-year-old? What was you saying every day of the week? Like, doing too much.
There. Officials say since school was on a break, he joined the child's church after realizing the young girl wouldn't be a student at the school.
You know, this unfortunately is not the first time I've seen a teacher have similar behaviors or express similar behaviors towards a student.
Do y'all do background checks on these teachers? Because if not, you need to. They need a psych evaluation as well before they can become a teacher, because at this point, y'all just hiring anybody. Like, anybody can come up in the school and get a job. Like, like, what is this?
You know, in my experience, the majority of the time it's with estranged partners, ex-boyfriends, ex-girlfriends, that type of thing, where you see that there will be an intrusion into every part of that person's life, whether it's their online activities, their work, calling their job, calling their employer, you know, sending photos, letters to their family. Really, it becomes an overwhelming intrusion into the victim's life, which is so difficult, to prove so often who is actually doing that. But then for them, you know, mentally and emotionally, they feel so unsafe everywhere because so often that person just intrudes into so many different areas of their life. And you know, thank God that her parents were attentive to this and recognized what was happening and went to law enforcement, but you know, before anything else happened.
And more disturbing allegations. According to authorities, when detectives made a visit to Dukes' classroom, they found several photos of the child in his desk, but noted the photos were not sexual in nature. Dylan Dukes' alleged creepy behavior was enough for authorities to arrest and charge him with stalking.
It's disgusting. It's horrific. It is a huge violation of the trust that kids and parents in our communities put in our teachers. And this teacher completely violated that by engaging in this inappropriate.
And I ain't sending my children to none of y'all schools when I have children, period. They're going to be homeschooled because the schools is getting off the chain. Your child is not even safe in school. Like, what am I sending them there for? They can learn at home. The fuck? They can learn some real stuff, not what y'all teaching them that blase in school anyway. Like, let's really get to it.
Behavior, 60 plus letters to this child, going to her church, showing up at places where she was with her family. It's just unimaginable. It really is. And thank goodness law enforcement got involved at this point before things escalated even further.
Attorney Sarah Ford with the South Carolina Victim Assistance Network explains thankfully law enforcement nabbed Dukes because his behavior could have escalated.
It's possible. You know, I hate to speculate when I don't have facts in front of me, but you wonder. I mean, it's a natural question to say, what was his end game here? What was he thinking? What happened? You know, you start, you know, certainly you want teachers to care about their students, but when that certainly crosses the line into, you know, letters for a child to open daily during their summer break, showing up at different events, you know, engaging with their family, going to their church, that's, you just wonder, you know, what could have happened here? What was his end game? Because this is a teacher of the year. I mean, this is not, you know, a first year teacher. Not that that would be an excuse, but this is someone who clearly had experience in the classroom. And then that begs the question, what else was going on in that classroom? What did other students see? You know, you just can't imagine that someone one day would say, I'm going to send this kid in my class 60 letters home with them. It builds. So what was that building process? What was that grooming process in this instance?
According to local reports, Anderson County School District 3 placed Dukes on administrative leave from Star Elementary School, where he taught music. He was named the school's Teacher of the Year for the 2023-2024 school year. A quote from the school website that has since been scrubbed from the site reportedly said, quote, Mr. Dukes goes above and beyond for his students. While the young 11-year-old girl is the only reported victim at this time, Ford explains it's possible she might not be the only one.
So often when someone is grooming a child, they may have
He's a
other
child
children that they're
molester.
grooming at the exact same time. And every case is different, every person is different. So, I can only speak to my experience and what I've seen in the
Y'all
past.
couldn't have did a background check. Y'all just hired anybody at the school. See, this is what I'm saying. No,
But I like to say, someone just doesn't wake up
y'all
today
just
and
cook.
say, I'm going to be obsessive about an 11-year-old, and it's going to start
All
today.
this school
There's
shit
a
did.
growth, there's a pattern that they've been engaging with, I would venture, for years, that led them to this point. So I do think that it certainly is important for law enforcement to take a deeper look into his activities, his online presence, seeing what else has been going on over the past years.
After Dukes' arrest, the school district superintendent released a statement writing, quote, "This week, Anderson 3 was contacted by Anderson County Sheriff's Office and made aware of an investigation involving a teacher at Star Elementary School. Upon learning of the investigation, the teacher was placed on administrative leave in accordance with our district policies. The district is fully cooperating with law enforcement in their investigation. Counseling services and additional support are available to any students or staff who may need assistance." During a bond hearing last week, Dukes appeared virtually from the Anderson County Detention Center, wearing a Star Elementary School t-shirt, the same school where he reportedly taught music. The victim's parents who attended the hearing spoke out against Dukes getting released from jail. As they told the judge, they are afraid for their young child's safety and alarmed by Dukes' unrestricted access to their family, as the victim's mother would paint a more chilling picture into Dukes' alleged obsession with her daughter. The victim's mother told the judge, "My child has been handed love notes by an adult male countless times," referencing the more than 60 notes that were found since June. The victim's mother also added, "He's attended my child's functions outside of school. He started attending our church. I now realize that this access to my child had continued to grow his obsession." The young girl's father also spoke in the court hearing, saying he felt their family would be put in danger if Dukes was released. The victim's father told the judge, "Given Mr. Dukes' unrestricted access to our family over the years and the unknown intentions of his obsession, I cannot feel secure knowing that he is not going to put my family in danger." But for Dukes' attorney, she argued her client is not a flight risk and urged the judge to grant her client bond.
Well, I'm grateful that the family was there speaking, on their behalf, giving them back some power in this really difficult situation, because I can't imagine how overwhelming they felt, recognizing this was happening to their child right under their noses by someone that they trusted. So first, just them being able to address the court with what they've experienced, what they want to see, is so important. But also, their concerns are completely valid. Their entire life was intruded upon. Their child's life was intruded upon by this teacher, and of course, as a parent, that their main concern is, we've got to keep our child safe. And so I think that them asking the court to keep this defendant in custody is an appropriate request for parents. And I certainly understand that the court has to balance, is this person a danger to the community? Are they a flight risk? We've got to balance that. But I think that a substantial surety bond was appropriate in this case. And certainly this would be a case for GPS monitoring, intensive supervision, as a bond condition prior to trial.
It's unclear if the 11-year-old was in court with her family, as Ford says the entire situation can be a lot for a young girl to process.
Sure. I mean, she should be hanging out with her friends and going to the pool and not thinking about this teacher that's obsessed with her. For victims, whether they're young children or adults, listening, hearing them, taking their concerns and saying, I hear you. I may not understand what you're experiencing, but what you're saying is valid and I want to help you. And so getting that help for them, making sure that she's in counseling would be one of the first things that I would do. Making sure she understands that she has no fault. Nothing is her fault in this situation. Because so often we see that children will take it on themselves and say, what did I do? How did I bring this on myself? This was a grown man who made these choices. So really validating, her and her experience, making sure that she's getting the resources that she needs, and especially over time, because Oftentimes it's a peak and valley situation where, children may today be okay, but, next week may need more support. So, making sure that parents are in tune with that as well as she gets older.
Ford says for parents, there are warning signs to look out for that their child may be going through more than they'd like to admit.
Things that I see are, disturbances in sleep patterns. With their friendship group, have they withdrawn? Have they, gone from talking to, the same 4 or 5 people every week to they don't really hang out with those kids anymore? What are their grades doing? Are they not keeping up with their homework? Different things. Anything that is out of the ordinary that you see a shift. Of course, parents are going to be like, well, they're preteens, they're teenagers. But really asking the appropriate questions and saying, hey, is anything going on? What's happening here? I just want to make sure you're okay. And I think those are just a couple of things that parents and teachers can take a look at and making sure that their kids that they're around are in a safe place and are safe to disclose if anything's going on.
While the fate of Dylan Dukes remains unclear, he has been ordered by a judge to not have contact with the victim or her family. Ford suggests to parents it's never too early to start teaching children about boundaries.
What are boundaries? I always like to use the hula hoop. Hula hoop out means don't come into my personal space. If I want to bring somebody in, then you can use it. But teaching kids boundaries, and that can happen at a very young age, right? This is not something that we need to wait until kids are preteens, teenagers to start discussing. Things that make you uncomfortable. Who are people that you can trust to go to talk to them about whatever it is that's making you uncomfortable? Letting students know that we will believe you. I think that my experience would tell me that there probably were signs in this situation that something was not right. Kids often talk about what's going on and may even, make a comment kind of offhandedly to gauge, will someone believe me? Did they trust what I'm saying? Just to gauge that. And if that wasn't received in a supportive way, maybe they won't continue with a disclosure. So it's important for us to teach kids boundaries, teach kids what consent is, letting them know that, when you're uncomfortable, say something and express that. And making sure that those people, the adults in the school, but also in the community, parents, teachers, coaches, all of those people have the right information and resources so they know what to do when a kid comes to them and says, hey, this is happening to me, so that they're prepared to support that child in the appropriate way. It's important for us not to be afraid to discuss these issues. So often parents say, I don't want to bring this to my child's attention because it's scary. I don't want to scare them. But it's important for us to have these conversations with our kids in an age-appropriate way to let them know that there are certain things that are okay, there are certain things that are not okay. And when something is harmful to them or makes them uncomfortable or makes them fearful, that they can and should tell an adult, tell their parent, tell a trusted person in their life. And those people actually act on the information they're given instead of trying to say, well, maybe they didn't mean it that way, or maybe it wasn't the way that you interpreted it. Actually hearing the child and validating them and saying, I believe you. I think if we all did a little better job of listening with empathy and understanding, I think that we could stop a lot of these things a lot sooner than we do.
Online records reveal Dylan Dukes is no longer in custody after the judge granted him a $50,000 bond. Under that bond agreement, Dukes is to have no contact with the victim or her family. Reporting for Law and Crime, I'm Elizabeth Milner.
Now that's just crazy, man. Comment down below. Let me know what y'all think about this video. If y'all want to see more, let me know as well. Make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe, hit that notification bell so you never miss a post. And I'm going to see y'all in the next video.
Oh, you ain't top off. Oh, you ain't Flintstones. Oh, you took a little roller.